Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Godsall's Turnbuckle. And it is time once again for some more predictions here on the channel. And this time we are going to be doing it for WWE Royal Rumble 2025. As of right now, it looks like there's only 4 matches on the card itself. And, it kind of makes sense when you have 2 Rumble matches to go along with it. Those are probably each going to go an hour. So, like I said, it looks more than likely that we're only going to get these 4 matches. There is always a possibility that they can add more, but it is Wednesday as of the time of this, so it would probably be a very late ad for a particular match. So I feel like, yeah, it's probably going to be just those 4 matches. And we'll go ahead and get everything kicked off here, and we are going to start with the Women's Royal Rumble match. As of right now, you don't have too many people actually declared for the Women's Rumble at this point in time, so it could be a very interesting. Match itself to see who's all going to be in it. As of right now, I think Liv Morgan, Bayley, Nia Jax have all declared. Lyra Valkyria declared, and Ivy Nile. I believe you have Bianca Belair and Naomi. And I think through the vignettes that for the returning Charlotte, I think Charlotte's going to be in the match as well. That's just how or at least that's how I feel at this moment. So I do imagine that a lot of the other roster, like Zoe Stark and Io Sky. Oh yeah, Io Sky is definitely declared already into the match as well. But maybe people like Zelina Vega and many of the other ones, probably a Chelsea Green or Piper Niven would be in the match. And like I said, probably many of the other main roster women will be in this match itself. And I imagine we will see some people from NXT in there. I do expect to see maybe a Roxanne Perez because they can continue on that feud that she's having with Bayley. And it will be interesting to see what other storylines come about through this as well, because they do have the potential of maybe building storylines for the future within this match. Just depends on how they decide to use everything in here. Pretty much like the other main story that was going on, and I don't know if it's going to actually resolve itself in the Rumble itself, is the whole who attacked Jade Cargill. Do you see any furthering of that in this match? Or is Jade not even going to be back in time for the match or anything in that sense? So it's really hard to say what it's going to be for those. In terms of a winner for this match, it's hard to really say. I kind of narrowed it down to a point that I do feel like they are going to have probably their first multi-time winner within the Women's Rumble, because since they brought it in I believe 2018, they have not had a multi-time winner within the Women's Rumble. So I do feel like that might be the case in this one. And I'm actually I'm kind of floating between Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair at this point, because if Jade Cargill is not going to be around, I do feel like you're going to get Rhea Ripley versus Bianca, because they have teased that a little bit more recently, especially going into Survivor Series. They did kind of tease that a little bit, so it's hard to say where that's going to go. And then obviously Charlotte, well, Charlotte is Charlotte at that point in time. So I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair in this particular case, though I do think either a Bianca Belair winning it or potentially even an Io Sky winning it as well is probably not a bad call, but I do feel like they're gonna go with Charlotte Flair on this one. And up next is going to be for the WWE Tag Team titles. It's going to be DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, going up against the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. This will be a 2 out of 3 falls match, so I do expect it to actually be given some time, and probably going to be a really good match. It's one of those matches where it has the potential of being really good. It just depends on how the match itself is going to be booked between the two of them. And do you have a moment with Pretty Deadly getting involved, because they've been kind of tied into this storyline as well. This could be, like I said, this could be actually match of the show. Depending on which route they're going to go with this, are we going to get one of those NXT style 2 out of 3 falls matches, much like you had with maybe DIY and the Revival, or are we going to get kind of your standard fare main roster style 2 out of 3 falls match? It really depends on how that's going to go. I do see them potentially doing a title change here, and I'm actually going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns to pick up the victory in this one. I'm just hoping it's going to be a really good match overall. So like I said, this one has a potential of being a lot of fun. I can, like I said, if they're going to bring Pretty Deadly into the mix, maybe they do have that babyface team pick up the victory here, take those tag titles back, and then maybe they start a feud with Pretty Deadly once they're done with DIY. We'll see how this one plays out though, but I am going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns. And up next is for the WWE Championship is going to be Cody Rhodes going up against Kevin Owens in a ladder match. Now, this, again, is basically, well, obviously it's been started since Bash in Berlin with the original match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, but this has been intensified more since Cody Rhodes teamed with Roman, and Kevin Owens was not too receptive to that. We'll just leave it at that one. And of course, got further intensified with the package pile driver given to Cody by Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event in December. And honestly, it's been a fun feud, and you do kind of see the whole point of Kevin Owens. It's like he feels like he's been betrayed, everything in that sense. You do get that sense from him on that one, and Kevin Owens is very good at portraying that, even though being the heel in this particular match. And of course, Cody is, basically now to the point, it's like, okay, I tried to make things right, but this isn't going to happen this way, so I'm going to fight you at every corner possible. And of course, now Kevin Owens has the Winged Eagle title because he took that after giving Cody Rhodes the package pile driver at the Saturday night's main event. And of course, Cody has his title. So both titles are actually going to be hanging high in this match. Now, there has always been that talk of, oh, what happens if one person takes down one title and the other person takes down the other title? Honestly, I don't feel like they're going to go that route here. I do see this feud ending here at this point in time. One thing, it's always been kind of nice to see like the little Easter eggs that they've been going with, especially with Kevin Owens, having the different t-shirts with the different phrases, everything in that sense. That's been really good. But I do feel like this story ends here. And you have this whole dynamic going in from Monday night with, Sami Zayn after giving Cody Rhodes a haluva kick. And it's, again, where now Cody feels like people are turning on him in some way, shape, or form. Like he was very, he was in a state of almost being out of his mind, where a lot of people feel like Kevin Owens is completely out of his mind. But him going into that final promo with CM Punk on the actual Monday Night Raw is just like, you can get that sense that everything about being the champion is finally getting to Cody in some way, shape, or form. So you're seeing a little bit of a different side from Cody Rhodes at this point, and maybe that is going to be nice to freshen it up a little bit. In terms of a winner for this match, I do see this one being Cody Rhodes. I don't see them taking that title off of him quite yet. We did have some interesting stories, potential stories for him down the line if they decide to go certain routes in the Rumble, or maybe at Elimination Chamber or something in that sense. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to be facing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. We'll talk about that a little bit more with the Rumble prediction. But for this match, I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes. And up next, more than likely the main event of the night is going to be the men's Royal Rumble match. And this is an interesting one because you're going to have a lot of different people in this match, and you can probably make a case for a lot of them to win as well. You have, of course, Roman Reigns in the match. You have John Cena in the match. You have CM Punk in the match. You have Drew McIntyre in the match. You have Seth Rollins in the match. Jey Uso's in the match. Sami Zayn's in the match. And you can kind of make a case for a lot of them being there as well. And it'll be interesting to see who will actually be surprises in this match. I didn't really talk about it much in the women's side, but I do, like I said, I do think that a lot of NXT people will show up on in the women's match, but I do feel like you might get a few, at least one, maybe a couple of TNA people showing up in there. I'm thinking Masha Slamovich and yeah, you know, probably Massa's Slamovich, I said it right the first time, and maybe Ash by Elegance, almost like a Dana Brooke return, is a possibility in there. On the men's side, I really only see one TNA person showing up, and I do feel like it will be their champion. And yes, I do believe in Joe Hendry, and I do believe he's actually going to be in this match, though I know he's not obviously advertised, but it would be nice to see him in there. And then maybe a few different NXT people, maybe people who are about to be called up, such as Trick Williams, and maybe a few others to go along with that, maybe an Ethan Page, something in that sense there would be nice. Now, in the terms of figuring out who would be a winner of this one, you have the storyline with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Where, you know, Kevin Owens is trying to get Sami Zayn to help him out. Maybe that plays a role into the match with Cody Rhodes as well. Maybe Sami does come out during that time. Obviously, I picked Cody Rhodes for that one. So I don't think Sami's going to be a winner for this one, because if Cody wins, Kevin Owens is probably going to prevent him from winning the Royal Rumble on that side. So I don't think that's going to be the case there. You do have the whole aspect of a storyline with CM Punk in there as well, and that great promo that he had with Cody Rhodes leading into the Rumble match itself. The importance, and kind of getting over the importance of being the champion, but also the importance of winning the Royal Rumble. And, you know, everything leading into Mania. Like, that promo made me want to see that match in some way, shape, or form. And if it happened to happen to be at WrestleMania or anything like that, that would be great as well. I don't know if that's going to be the route that they're going to go, because you also have the whole aspect of what is the favor that CM Punk is going to get from Paul Heyman as well. So it's kind of tied into that. And then you're going to have the whole aspect of Seth Rollins going and Drew McIntyre in there. Are they going to start teaming up? Because it's kind of maybe getting towards that point. They technically don't like each other, but they may see something in there, and maybe they try to get rid of Roman Reigns, or maybe they do get rid of Roman Reigns in the match, or a CM Punk who they have been, you know, feuding with as well. It's a possibility in all those senses. And then you kind of go to John Cena, who's on his farewell tour. This is going to be his last Royal Rumble, his last WrestleMania. It is heavily rumored that he is going to be Cody's match for WrestleMania, which would be very interesting, because they wouldn't necessarily have him, you know, go through adversity throughout the year to get to a title match, or maybe even win the title. Who knows? I do feel like John Cena is going to win his 17th world title. I don't necessarily within this year. I just don't necessarily think it's going to be at WrestleMania. I don't even think it's going to be him getting to WrestleMania through this match. I'm going to go off the wall here, because I do feel like maybe the winner is going to be somebody like a Cena, maybe a Roman, maybe a Punk in those ones. But I'm going to go off the wall here, and I'm going to go with Jey Uso. And he picks Gunther because he's convinced he can beat Gunther for that world title. And he can pick the world title with that, with winning the Rumble as well. So maybe it gives more importance towards the world championship, everything in that sense, by having the Rumble winner pick the world heavyweight champion. At least that's how I would feel. So I'm going to go on a limb on this one, and I'm not going to go for an obvious answer. I'm going to go with Jey Uso to pick up the victory, win the Royal Rumble, and go on to face Gunther at WrestleMania. Now that is all the matches that we have here for the Royal Rumble this year. As of right now, it is going to be 4 matches. I don't see them adding any others. Feel free to leave your predictions down in the comments below. Also, like the video if you so wish. Subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I hope you all take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your day.